Welcome to Sleepy Science Universe, a place where you can relax, unwind, and gently drift into the wonders of the universe. Tonight, there's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to go. Just lie back, take a slow breath, and let your mind begin to wander through distant stars, quiet galaxies, and the peaceful silence of space as we explore the most fascinating mysteries of science in the calmest way possible. So close your eyes, get comfortable, and let's begin. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, you are moving through space faster than you can possibly imagine? Not just a few miles per hour, but hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. And yet, you feel completely still. You're not drifting. You're not floating. You're sitting exactly where you are. But in reality, you are part of something much bigger, something vast, ancient, and quietly breathtaking. A galaxy, and not just any galaxy. The Milky Way. Tonight, we're not going to rush. There's nowhere to be, nothing to solve. We're simply going to drift, slowly, through one of the most fascinating places in existence, the galaxy you call home. So take a slow breath in and let it out. Let your body relax, let your thoughts soften. And as you listen, just imagine that you're floating far above the Earth, looking down at a small blue planet, slowly spinning in the darkness of space. That planet is home, but it's only the beginning of the story. The Milky Way Galaxy, so large that even light would takes over 100,000 years just to travel from one side to the other. Try to imagine that for a moment. A beam of light moving at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second, still needing 100,000 years to cross this galaxy. And somewhere inside that vast expanse is our solar system, a tiny, almost invisible part of something unimaginably big. Our sun is just one star out of hundreds of billions, and around that one star are a handful of planets, including Earth. Where you are right now, listening to this, as your mind slowly begins to drift. If you could step outside the Milky Way and look back at it from a distance, you would see a soft, glowing spiral stretching across the darkness. Long curved arms lie filled with stars, gas, and dust, gently rotating around a bright center. What would look calm, peaceful, almost still. But inside, everything is moving. Stars are orbiting the center, just like planets orbit stars. Our own sun was orbiting the center of the Milky Way at a speed of about 828,000 kilometers per hour. And yet it takes around 225 million years just to complete one full orbit. That means the last time our solar system was in this exact position, dinosaurs were still walking on Earth. Now imagine this. Every star you see in the night sky, every tiny point of light is part of this galaxy. But what you're seeing is only a small fraction of what's actually there. Most of the Milky Way is hidden from view, obscured by clouds of cosmic dust, or simply too far away for the human eye to detect. There are regions where stars are being born, Deep inside, cold, dense clouds of gas and other regions, where stars have already lived out their lives, ending in powerful explosions called supernova. Each one sending energy and elements out into space, helping to create new stars, new planets, and eventually new possibilities for life. And at the very center of the Milky Way lies something mysterious, something invisible, yet incredibly powerful. A supermassive black hole, known as Sagittarius A*. It has a mass millions of times greater than our sun, and its gravity is so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. But despite its power, it doesn't consume the galaxy. Instead, it sits quietly at the center, holding everything together like an anchor in the dark. As you continue to listen, you might begin to feel just how small we really are, and strangely, how peaceful that can be. Because out here, in the vastness of space, there is no noise, no rush, no pressure, just silence and time, stretching endlessly in every direction. And somewhere in that silence, on a small planet, orbiting an ordinary star, inside a quiet spiral arm of a massive galaxy, you are here, listening, breathing, slowly toward sleep as you drift a little deeper. Let your thoughts slow down and imagine that you're no longer near Earth, but slowly moving outward away from the sun, past the planets, and into the wider galaxy. Our solar system feels big when you think about it. The distance between planets, the vast emptiness between worlds, but compared to the Milky Way, it's almost nothing. If the entire galaxy were the size of the United States, our solar system would be smaller than a single grain of sand, when just a tiny, invisible point, lost inside something far greater. And yet, this small place, where everything you've ever known exists, every person, every memory, every moment in human history, all contained within that single grain. As you move farther out, you begin to notice something else. The stars around you aren't randomly scattered. They follow patterns. They gather in clusters, forming gentle streams of light that stretch across space. These are the spiral arms of the Milky Way, and we are located in one of them, a quiet region known as the Orion Arm, nestled between two larger arms, like a calm neighborhood in a vast cosmic city. Stars are spaced far apart, giving systems like ours room to form and evolve. It's a peaceful place, relatively stable, far from the chaotic center of the galaxy, and that stability may be one of the reasons life had a chance to develop here. Now imagine drifting closer to one of those glowing clouds of gas floating between the stars. These are called nebulae, massive regions where new stars are born. Inside them, gravity slowly pulls gas and dust together over millions of years, until something incredible happens. A new star ignites, a spark of light in the darkness. Some of these nebulae were so large that they span hundreds of light years, and within them thousands of stars can form at the same time, each one with its own system, its own planets, and maybe its own stories. Now gently, let your mind imagine what it would feel like or to float inside one of these nebulae. Soft colors surrounding you, reds, blues, purples, glowing faintly in the dark. No sound, no gravity pulling you down, which just a quiet, endless drift through clouds of stardust. This dust is important because it's not just empty particles. It's made of elements like carbon, the same elements found in your body, the same elements that make up everything on Earth in a very real way. You are made of stardust, atoms that once existed inside ancient stars billions of years ago. Stars that lived and died long before the Earth was even formed. And now those same atoms are part of you, breathing, thinking, listening. As you continue drifting, you might begin to feel a quiet connection to everything around you, not separate from the universe, but part of it, a small piece of something infinitely large. Now, far in the distance, you may begin to notice a faint glow, a dense region where stars become more and more crowded. This is the direction of the galactic center, a place very different from where we are. As you slowly move closer, the calm begins to shift. Stars are no longer spread out. They're packed tightly together, millions of them, clustered in a small space. The light becomes brighter, more intense, almost overwhelming, and hidden within that brightness is something you cannot see but can feel. A powerful pull, the gravity of something enormous, something invisible. The closer you drift, the stronger that pull becomes. Not enough to harm you, just enough to remind you that you're approaching one of the most mysterious places in the entire galaxy. But we won't go too close, not tonight. Tonight is about calm, not chaos. So instead, you gently slow down and begin to drift away again, back toward the quieter regions, where the stars are soft and the darkness feels peaceful. As you move away, the brightness fades, the silence returns, and everything feels still again. And somewhere, far behind you, the center of the Milky Way continues to spin quietly, holding the galaxy together, while you drift peacefully through space, feeling lighter, calmer, and more relaxed with every second as you continue to drift further and further into the quiet darkness. You may begin to notice something unusual, something that doesn't quite make sense. The stars you see, the glowing clouds, the planets and galaxies, they feel like everything, but in reality, they're not. In fact, everything you can see in the universe makes up only a small fraction of what actually exists. Most of the universe is invisible, but scientists call it dark matter. It doesn't glow. It doesn't reflect light. It can't be seen directly, no matter how powerful the telescope is, and yet it's there. We know it exists because of the way galaxies behave, the way they spin, the way they hold together without something extra. Something unseen, the Milky Way, which should have torn itself apart long ago. Stars would drift away, lost into empty space, but they don't. They stay. They orbit. They move in perfect balance, as if something quietly holding everything together. That's something, this dark matter. Imagine it like this, an invisible ocean rounding the galaxy, and within that ocean, the Milky Way floats, held gently in place. You can't touch it, you can't see it, but its presence is everywhere as you float there in the silence. Try to imagine being surrounded by something that exists but cannot be seen. It's a strange thought, but also a peaceful one, because that not everything needs to be understood to be real. Now, as you drift further, you might notice something else, a distant glow, far beyond the Milky Way. Another galaxy, and another, and another. The universe is filled with them, billions of galaxies, each one containing billions of stars. Some are small, quiet, like our own. Others, more massive, violent, constantly colliding and merging. And sometimes, galaxies don't stay separate. They move closer, slowly, over millions of years, until one day they begin to collide, not like solid objects. There's no loud crash, no sudden impact, just a slow, graceful merging. Stars passing by each other, almost never touching. Clouds of gas interacting, creating waves of new star formation. And over time, two galaxies become one. The Milky Way itself is on a path, but toward billions of years from now, it will merge with a neighboring galaxy known as Andromeda. The night sky, as we know it, will completely change, but there's no danger. Even during such a massive event, the distances between stars are so vast that entire solar systems can pass through untouched. It's not destruction, it's transformation, a slow dance on a cosmic scale. As you continue drifting, you may begin to feel as if time itself was slowing down, not stopping, just becoming softer, less important, fading into the background out here in the vastness of the Milky Way. Time doesn't rush. It stretches, it flows gently, like a calm river with no beginning and no end in sight. Now imagine that you are floating near a quiet, distant star, not too bright, not too dim, which is steady and calm. Around it, you notice something forming, a thin disk of dust and gas, slowly spinning, almost like a soft spiral. This is how planets are born over millions of years. Tiny particles begin to stick together, grain by grain, piece by piece. They grow larger, from dust to rocks, from rocks, massive worlds, and eventually, a full planetary system takes shape. Some planets become hot and violent, covered in lava and fire. Others remain frozen, locked in darkness. And a few, very few, find a balance, a perfect distance from their star, where temperatures are just right, where liquid water can exist, where life has a chance to begin. Now imagine standing on one of those distant planets, looking up at its sky, seeing a completely different view, maybe two suns instead of one, casting long shadows across the ground, or giant rings stretching across the sky, glowing softly in reflected light. Or perhaps a sky filled with stars so bright it never truly becomes dark. Each world has its own story, its own environment, its own possibilities. And somewhere out there, there may be other forms of life, not like us, not human, but something simple or complex, quietly existing under alien skies. The universe is vast enough to allow endless possibilities. And yet, despite all of that, you are here on Earth, a world that formed in just the right way, at just the right time, protected by a magnetic field, warmed by a steady star, surrounded by a thin atmosphere that allows you to breathe. It may not seem special when you're used to it, but in the grand scale of the galaxy, it's incredibly rare. Now, as you drift further, you may begin to feel a gentle sense of gratitude for this moment, for this existence, with a quiet ability to simply be here, listening, breathing, relaxing. Now, let your thoughts slow down again, even more, and imagine what would happen if you could travel faster, much faster, or faster than any spacecraft, faster than light itself. You could cross the galaxy in moments. You could see everything all at once. Billions of stars, stretching endlessly in every direction. But strangely, it might not feel overwhelming, because in that silence, in that stillness, everything feels calm. There is no noise in space, no sound. Explosions happen, Stars collide, galaxies merge, and yet there is only silence, endless quiet. And in that quiet, you begin to feel lighter, as if all the noise of the world, all the stress, all the thoughts are slowly drifting away. There is nothing to do, nothing to worry about. Just this moment, just this gentle drift through the stars. And as your breathing slows, your body relaxes. You may begin to feel that soft pull of sleep getting closer, your mind becoming quieter, your thoughts fading like distant stars disappearing into darkness, and all that remains is calm. And now there's nowhere left to go. No more distance to travel, no more stars to pass, no more questions to ask. You've drifted far enough through the galaxy, through time, through silence, and now you can simply rest. Imagine yourself floating gently in a quiet corner of the Milky Way, far from everything, far from noise, far from worry. The stars around you are soft, distant, peaceful. They don't rush, they don't demand anything, they simply exist, and you are allowed to do the same. There is nothing you need to prove, nothing you need to finish, nothing you need to figure out. This moment is enough. Your breathing slows naturally, without effort, and out. Soft. Your body feels heavier now. Your muscles relax, one by one, letting go of any tension you didn't even realize you were holding. Your shoulders drop, your jaw softens, your eyes rest, gently closed, and your mind, once full of thoughts, begins to quiet. Any remaining thoughts, which is drift away like tiny particles floating through space. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to hold on to them. Let them go, just like everything else. Now, bring your awareness back to the galaxy, that vast, endless place you've been drifting through. Billions of stars, moving slowly in quiet harmony, each one following its path without stress, without urgency. And just like them, you can let go of any need to rush. Time will move. Whether you think about it, the universe will continue. Whether you worry or not, you can rest completely, deeply, safely. That gentle darkness around you, becoming softer, warmer, more comforting, like a quiet blanket wrapping around your thoughts, slowing them down until they fade completely. Your body feels still, your breathing slow and calm, your mind almost silent. And in this silence, sleep begins to take over, gently, naturally, without effort. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. We just drift deeper and deeper into rest. And as you fade into sleep, remember, you are part of something vast, something ancient, something beautiful. The same universe that created the stars. We created you, and tonight it holds you in quiet stillness. Let go completely and sleep.